Hello everyone, today is Saturday, November 19th, 2016, and it's time to go to work on music. My main camera just ran out of batteries, and I just uploaded yesterday's video, so sorry for the delay. I was up late last night, which brings me to today. The last couple nights there's just been a lot of stuff going on, and I've just been up a lot later than I wanted to be, and frankly I just haven't been managing my end of day time well, and it's like that thing that I'm sure you can probably relate to, which is it's the end of the day, you got all your work done, everything's good, and then you're like, oh, I'll just relax for a little bit, and then that little bit turns into like 2 or 3 hours or something like that. So I'm working on that, and yeah, it's a small problem, but it's also a big problem at the same time, because the next day, then all of a sudden, that's 1 or 2 hours out of music time that I would have had that I don't have. So of course there's a balance. I don't just want to be working 100% of the time and never being a human being and relaxing or enjoying life. Not that being in music in the lab and working on music isn't enjoying life. It most definitely is, but I think for me there's more than just that to my life and to being an artist, honestly. And I'll talk more about that in a future video. But for today, I just want to get down to business. And I've got some time to put in today, but not as much time as I wanted to have. So it's just something I'm working on, and I think one of the ways that you really stay on the path over time is you go off the path sometimes, and then you realize, oh, this isn't where I want to go. I've mentioned this before, and then that kind of brings you back, like, okay, re-inspired, recommitted, gonna do this. And it's sort of that like zigzagging, forward, and sometimes it feels like 2 steps forward and 1 step back, but that's still progress, so I'll take it. Today, my main goals are to get a drum practice in, and then also to move forward with my online classes, and then finally to map out the live version of a multi-track song that I did about a few weeks ago, and things are going well on the live front. So here we go. Let's make it happen. All right, making some good progress with the online classes, and I'm working through some of the supplementary resources on learning how to learn. And I was checking out some really good articles from Harvard Business Review and Forbes about developing a thicker skin and getting used to getting feedback. And I think it's really, really valuable and really important. If you can take feedback well and accurately, I think that can only help you, because if you disagree with the feedback, it gives you the opportunity either to change or examine something really specific about what you're doing to either change or to reinforce why you believe something to be true and why you disagree with the feedback. I think to be able to articulate why you disagree or why you agree can be really, really helpful. And also, just we're constantly getting feedback from the world around us, some positive, some negative, and it's good to just realize, like, a lot of people, when they're giving feedback, have a genuine intent. They do really want to help, and maybe they're going about that well, maybe they aren't. And also, not all feedback's going to be accurate. I think it's good to remember that when people give you advice, sometimes, maybe not all the time, but a lot of the times, they're really just trying to tell you what they would do. And sometimes you want to know that, and sometimes you don't. One big thing that's been on my mind recently is I want to take advice from people who are already doing what I want to do. And I don't want to take advice from people who are not getting the results that I want to get. And it's just something to think about. It's not that everyone else can't be a teacher, whether that's what to do or what not to do. I think that's true, but I would just be careful, whose feedback are you listening to? What's the source of this information? This day and age in the political sphere, regardless of what side of the spectrum you're on there, there seems to be quite a bit of false information. It's like, well, let's fact check this. Is that really true? Is this, just something someone posted online, and so then we assume it's legitimate? That's sort of going off the spectrum there, but certainly helpful as far as music goes. And then getting into the genre research stuff with my other class, that's going well. I'm realizing I just want to be patient when it comes to really getting a great description of my sound for marketing purposes and for my own purposes. But I definitely know my umbrella genre is rock, and then my subgenres, I'm flirting with a few different things. It could be art rock, could be funk rock, could be hard rock, and there are a couple different things to do there. So the next step for me is just to survey some folks, some of my friends, people I trust, and just ask them what pops into their head when they think of my sound. If you guys have checked out any of my music on my main channel and you have any thoughts of similar bands that pop into your head, I'd certainly be curious to hear those. But if you haven't checked that out, no big deal. Yeah, let's get into a drum practice. Here we go. All right. Solid drum practice there. Took a break. Went out to dinner with my sister who was in town, and I don't see her that much, so that was really nice to do that. Definitely, sacrificing a little on the music time there, and I feel that this week, I've been doing a lot more socializing than I had in maybe the previous 4 or 5 weeks, and I'm in an interesting place because I was working, I kind of cleared my schedule to do this show at the end of the year, and it was sort of a tight deadline, and I just wanted to make sure I could really knock it out. But then that got pushed back, so there isn't really as much pressure on me right now, so I just really don't want to lose my momentum. That's really big, but at the same time, um, I don't need to be going 1000% into the zone right now. So I'm trying to find that balance, and I'm probably not going to do much or any socializing up for the next like maybe 3 4 weeks. I'm just going to try to knock this thing out. It's Thanksgiving this week, so hopefully I'll have a little bit of extra time to dig deep on a couple fronts. So yeah, just going to make it happen. I got about an hour to put in right now, and what I'm going to do is clean up the studio a little bit because I've got the remnants of the old drum kit here, and I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that, but I think I'm just going to put it away for the time being so that the space is a little tidier, and then going to try to get an arrangement down for this track, and we'll just see how it goes. All right, end of a good day. As I said earlier, it definitely didn't go, well, maybe I didn't say this earlier, but it definitely didn't go the way I wanted the session to. And that does tend to happen, honestly, when I have a big break in the session, or if I leave the house and I go do something else and then come back and work more. I did get in the zone, and I still got a lot of good work done. So I mean, overall, I for the most part can check the box on 99% of what I was needing to do today. I didn't get as far as I could have gotten, I guess. And it would have been great to do more, but at the same time, it was nice to have a more balanced and relaxed day. It was nice to have some family time, and it's been a long time since I've seen my sister, so that was awesome. And she drove down like, hour and a half just to have dinner with me, so um, I wanted to make time for that. Would I do this week again exactly the way I did it this week? I don't know. I mean, I think I made the right calls, and I still got a lot of great work done, which is important. And my goal right now isn't the optimal balance of social and music time, although it certainly is long term. I mean, right now I really want to be totally locked in, so this coming week is going to be a big week for that for sure. And I'll take you guys along for the ride. But sometimes you just do the best you can with the time you have. I definitely didn't have as much energy for the last hour, but I got the studio cleaned up, got things organized. I did get the arrangement down that I wanted to get down. I was listening to the pre-recorded multi-track version, and I just sketched out a quick arrangement right here, which would work. If I wanted to put it together tomorrow, I could make it happen. And that was pretty much my goal for the day, so I was moving a little slower, but sometimes you're going to be, at your best, sometimes you're going to be at your worst as far as ability, and the main thing is just show up and work. Just show up, put in the time, stick to your schedule, stick to your word with yourself, and just work. Just move the dial a tiny bit forward. I mean, even just moving the dial a tiny bit forward is progress. And if you keep doing that enough days in a row, then eventually you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be where you want to be. That's what I tell myself all the time. So would I want every day to go like this? No, but I am happy with the results of today, and I look forward to checking with you guys soon. Tomorrow's probably an off day for music. I usually take Sundays off. I know yesterday was kind of a lighter day, and I don't usually do that. Today was a little lighter than I thought it was going to be. I put in maybe about half the time I was planning to, but it happens. And this week is going to be a big one. So I'll take you guys along for the ride. Have a great Saturday night and a great Sunday, and I will see you guys on Monday. Until then.